Hey guys, welcome to the Starting Million. I'm your host, Ashal. Welcome to the show. So today, as usual, I'm always very excited because I get the privilege to interview a very interesting guest, a very special guest, because what's coming up next is actually a very important aspect of pretty much any business, and it is the power of utilizing email marketing. So this is, if you're already using email marketing, you understand the power of it. But for a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't. A lot of people actually don't use this very powerful skill, a powerful asset to help them to do a lot of the heavy lifting for them. But it is a skill. It is something that, if done well, one time can utilize over and over and over again. So my upcoming guest is going to be talking about that. I'm going to be asking my guest a few stuff. For example, I'm going to be asking about, what are some bad examples of bad emails in a sense, okay? Why is it important to have email marketing strategies? I'm also going to be asking about, subject line matters and a whole bunch more. So if you're watching together live with me, let me know in the comments together with a hashtag live. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining the show. So this, as you know, guys, this is actually a live show. We are here on live. If you have any comments, feel free to leave a comments below. We will bring you up any questions what you have. We're going to show them. And then what we do is that we're going to make this whole thing interactive. So without further ado, guys, thank you for coming on the show, and let's get the party started.
You cut me loose and set me free. You cut me loose. You make me win in every way. Win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way.
So for my guest this time around, she is Ngozi Mary. She's an email marketing expert, a former actress, and a movie script writer. She now works with coaches, consultants, and ads agencies, okay, to run their email marketing campaign. So if you have a list, she's got your back. So without further ado, let's welcome Ngozi Mary. Woo!
Hi, hello, Asha.
Hi, welcome to the show, Mary. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. All right, so this is, I believe we just had a short conversation earlier, and this is indeed your, you've done live before on an individual basis, but this is your first time coming on live publicly in an interview for everybody to see, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but Mary, you've done this for a while. You've done a live, so this is nothing new to you. But okay, so let's get it started real quick, because this is a very interesting topic, and I think a lot of people who are into this business, they running their own business, they definitely want to learn about how can they do it properly. So perhaps if you can just share with us and with everybody over here, Mary, right? So what got you started into writing emails professionally? Can you just share into that?
Okay, all right. Well, I was a movie script writer. I was writing movie scripts, up till for about 8 years, and from 2019, I came online and I was like, "What's going on here?" So I started writing copies, like landing pages, squeeze pages, email copies, you name it. So I was writing all kinds of copies. Like people come to me and like, do you know how to write this? I say, yes, I would write it. Then at a point, I had a coach that time, and he said to me, "You have to actually choose one thing to write about." I was like, "I love emails. Like my clients, the people I've written emails for, they love it." So I was like, "Me too. I love reading the emails I write for them." So I chose email. That's how I got fully into email copywriting. Yes.
Okay. So you came from a you used to be an actress, and then now you write your script writers, and then from writing script writers, you started to write that as a business, okay, as a service, to write that professionally. Very cool. So with that, okay, because I also have a little bit of experience with acting, just a little bit, but maybe you can just share, yeah, just a little bit. All right. So maybe you can just share, maybe explain your process, of helping entrepreneurs, with and businesses with email marketing. Can you just explain your process, or how do you help them with creating emails like that?
Okay. Like I started as a copywriter, purely copywriting. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write copies for you guys and you will love it. And I started doing that. Then at a point, I got like one or two clients who loved the copy. They were like, oh, this is amazing. Like They loved it because after writing the copy, I would invite them to Zoom to, watch, to hear it from me. And they're like, I love it. But then I don't know how to use it. So at a point, they got stuck. Like they were like, Mary, the copy is so amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. But how do I use it? I don't know how to use it. So that was when I said, okay, I have to solve this issue. And actually, that's an advice I'm going to give copywriters also. This is a big issue when it comes to email marketing. You can write an amazing copy, but if the people you're giving it to don't know how to use it, then nobody's happy. I'm not happy. They're not happy. Nobody's moving forward. So what I did was I went into deep research. I started, in fact, I brought them on Zoom and started asking them, what problems are you having with email marketing? And they started telling me all these things, all these things, all these things. So I wrote everything down and then I said, I'm going to offer you all of that, 100%. Okay, you're having problem with, knowing which audience to send it to. I said, okay, I'm going to do that for you. So what I did was I hired a tech. So I'm writing and then I'm having meetings with the clients and then I'm writing the emails and then the tech is loading emails and, scheduling them and sending it off. So, for example, if my client is running an event, I have to write like a countdown event for them, a countdown email sequence for them, so that they can start sending it to the subscribers before the event starts. Now, let's go back to the process, what I do, how I serve my clients. First of all, they come to me and then we have a Zoom call. And then I see what the problem is. I ask them questions to know what the problems are. And then I decide if I can help them or not, right? And you have to have an email list to have an email list problem. So then I tell them I can help them. Then after the payment, everything is taken care of. Then I have to go deep into research, because copywriting is 80%. It's 80% research and 20% writing. So they're going to give me the link of their website if they have any. They will give me, I'm going to join their Facebook group. I'm going to watch their YouTube, receive all of their PDF, whatever it is they have related to their business. And then I'm going to start from there to write whatever emails that is needed to be written in the business, right? So when I finish that, after 7 days, they're going to receive, I'm going to load the first 4 emails. Let's say, for example, 52 emails, 1 email a week. Then I have to write those 4 emails for 1 month. So every month it's ready. And then I load it up to them. My tech guy is going to do that. Just put it in their autoresponder and schedule it. And then it sends once a week. But if the email is supposed to be going out 2 emails a week, same thing. Load it up. It goes out the time it's supposed to go out. And some clients are very much involved in the process. They want to see what it says. They want to read the email before it goes out. So of course they go into the Google Doc. I give them access to the Google Doc, and then they make some edits, remove something or add something, and then the email is good to go. So that's how my process works. The process is kind of very, very simple. Because it depends on where the client is with the email marketing and how they use the email marketing and what they want to do with the email marketing. So there are a whole lot of things they do depending on the person. Yes.
Okay, so that means you, like we said earlier, you actually do a very deep dive into going into their world, finding out a little bit about what they're already doing. You do the research to find out how they communicate, how is it that they speak, and then you work that into their copy, right? That work that into the emails, and then you mentioned you actually line up about at least 52. So that's for a full year. If let's say you use every single week, 52, right? Yeah, 52.
Yeah.
So that's for every single week, and so for businesses who actually, this is actually one of the very interesting thing you mentioned, because this is actually a strategy that you use to why do you have why is it so important to have a good email marketing strategy? Can you just share on that point yourself? What's the importance of
Awesome.
having a good email marketing strategy?
Awesome. Okay, that's a very good question. I can tell you that, having a good email marketing strategy means it's gonna make you money. Of course, it's gonna make you money, but
Mhm.
whenever any business wants to scale, you have to do email marketing, because email marketing is your list, it is your real estate online, it is what you own. Okay, let's say, for example, in the future, you even want to sell the business. The people who want to buy the business, what they're going to be looking at is how many people on your list, right? They don't buy the company, they just buy, the list, the people. How many people do you have who are in your business? Okay, so that's why it's good to have email marketing strategy. When you have email marketing strategy, you can easily send them your offer, send them your product, be in touch with them always, because this is like, okay, here, you're here, I'm here. It's not like I'm going to be looking for you somewhere. Is exactly like I know where you are and I know how to get in touch with you. It's not, it's something like, oh, I have Bill Gates' number. It's, let me just put it that way. So you can easily contact him and tell him whatever you want to tell him. So that's why you see anybody who has an email list, there is no way your business is gonna bankrupt ever again if you do it correctly. Exactly. That's just how email marketing. That's why it's important to have a very good email marketing strategy, so that any day, anytime, whatever you have to offer, you just send it to your list and say, "Hey, this is what I got. Come and join me. Come and have a look. Come and have a taste. It's free, or it's this amount, or whatever." So you just give it to them, and people are gonna receive it for you and take a look. So you have your traffic steady with good email
Mm.
marketing. Yes.
Okay. So because of that, right? Because there are some people of different levels of having content, right? Some people have multiple offers. Some people have only like maybe one offer. Some a lot actually have no offer, right? So
Right.
that's a different problem altogether. But if let's say if we're talking about a full year, like a full year of kind of content, and full year worth of emails, if that person only has one, if let's say I only have one offer, right? How would you come up with 52 emails for one offer? How would you do that?
Okay. Let's say, for example, that's why I serve coaches and
Mm,
consultants and ad agencies. And so when you're a coach and when you're in this category of people that I serve, you definitely have a program that you're offering year in, year out. So,
mhm,
and these programs are usually 1 year program, few months to 1 year program. So the people who are coming into your list, you have to communicate them, or you have to nurture them, because it takes like, normally in the email world we say we need 66 emails to
mm.
convince somebody. The hardest clients, it takes about 66 touches for them to,
Wow.
yes, to warm up. So but for mine is 52 at the basic. Yeah, it's
Mm,
not like it's just 52 emails. You can send more than that, because 52 is just like once a week. So it
mm,
depends on your offer. If I see your offer, I see what you're doing. If you need 2 emails a week, 3 emails a week, up to 5 emails a week. So that's how I see if you can do that, right? So those people that I serve always have an offer, and
mm,
sometimes they have just one offer, two offer, three offer, and because they're already like seasoned, they know what they're doing, they understand their business, they have an offer, they are in business. That's why they consistently sell, right?
mm.
Yes.
Okay, definitely. So definitely we need to have an offer that we can consistently sell. Key point, key point, key point, right? Important. Otherwise, you can't make any money because there's nothing to sell. I think it's a big problem people have. It's like it's not like, why are you not making money? Because I'm not selling anything. Why? Because you have nothing to sell, right? So it's a very simple thing that people tend to forget, right? So I'll make sure we deal with that. Okay, so then another question I have is that, when it comes to the email marketing, okay, benefits, all right. So I want to know what are some benefits, like, there are some stuff like automation and stuff like that, different offers and kind of stuff. But perhaps you can just name some email marketing benefits that entrepreneurs and businesses will miss out if they don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The benefits are very, very simple. Like, the benefits that you're going to miss out on if you're not doing email marketing is that you're not going to grow. You will not scale. I mean, we all of us, we love organic marketing. We do it, and some people make lots and lots of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions, just using organic marketing. But people who really want this a long term, if you want a long term benefit, business profit, long term, people who know you for what you do, you have to have them in your list. That's like what you're gonna miss out if you don't have a list that you communicate with. I mean, I've heard someone say, I have 52,000 people in my email list, but I have not sent them any email. I'm like,
Oh man.
why? That's like a waste of money, right? That's like leaving a
Yeah.
lot of money on the table. So
Yeah.
you have to really, really try to get the benefits of email marketing. You have the list already. Then why not? Why not make the cash from that? That's like my mantra. You have the list, then go and help them, gain something from you. Then you gain something from them, right? So
Mm.
don't miss out on that. That's just what I always tell them.
Right. Wow. So 52,000. Right. So that's a lot of potential that's being missed out. My gosh. Because I really believe in one of the ideas, because if you want to grow as a business, you don't need, in a sense, that many people. You really only need a few people who are fans of your business, and you communicate with them, you engage with them, and you can sell them. So really having an email list is just a much more easier way for you. I like what you said earlier. Is that like it's kind of like an asset where you can really just rely upon. I think you start to say the very, very early beginning part where it's something that it belongs to you, because in case for whatever reasons, right? If let's say Facebook decides to shut you down, you still have your email list, right? Because they can't, in a sense, they can't take your contacts away from you. If let's say all your contacts you have is on your phone, right? They can't like, okay, they shut down your account, let's take away your phone. They can't. You can still contact those people if you need to. And some, your phone, they have a list of like maybe 200 over people or however many people you want. That's a list in a sense already. And being able to contact people, build upon that, and the benefits of automation coming into play and reaching. So it stacks. So thank you for sharing that. I think it's very important to know about this. So then in this case, one question, the next thing I want to ask about is when it comes to sending emails, uh, it's very important, right, for the email line, the subject line, because when it comes to sending out emails, a lot of people, let's just send random kind of stuff. But to me, I really, really believe in the idea of you hook them at the start. Okay, you can actually get them to read the rest. You got to do the important part. So when it comes to like marketing and sales kind of emails, right, the subject line is really, really important. So can you share what are the elements that make up a really good email subject line so that it can actually improve the average email open rate?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite topics. I usually like my technique, my strategy is sell the open, right? Because when you write an ad, you sell the click. That's what people who write ads do. They have to sell the click.
Mm,
They have to write it in a way that people can click on it. But when it comes to email subject line, you have to sell the open. The
mm,
main purpose of email subject line is to sell the open so that people can actually see what you have to offer. Now, for you to sell the open of the subject line, for you to sell the open, for people to open your email, there are four things that I keep in mind when I do that. And one is numbers. If possible, as much as possible, put numbers in your subject line. Let's say, for example, this person lost 30 kilograms in 1 week. See how, or something like that. So numbers are very important because people naturally their eyes go to numbers. It's just a natural thing. Okay. Then the second one I use is shock, right? You have to use a subject line that will shock somebody to be like, how is that possible? Okay, like let's say you're a coach and you say, oh, my client made $52,000 in 1 week with my help, right? Or this person found love in 3 months or less. So these are like shocking subject lines.
mhm,
Then another one that I use is what do you call it? Suspense. Suspense. You have to make it like a suspense, like a movie, right? You have to make the person be like, okay. So let's say, for example, I got into this program. I got into this program, and you just stop it there. I got into this
Mm.
program, and like dot dot dot. So like put some suspense in it. Okay. And
Mm.
then the last one that I use is what have I said? I said the numbers, I said the short
Number, shock,
suspense,
suspense.
and there's one more. There's one more. I'll remember it later. But these are the things that I use to sell the open, because once you sell the open, you sell your email. The next
Mm.
part is easier. So subject line is
Okay.
actually something that a lot of people struggle with. That's why one of the biggest problems with email marketing is nobody's opening my email. You know,
Mm. Would the
yeah,
next one be mystery? I have no idea. Just randomly throwing out
I
there.
will remember.
Okay, so yeah, I love it. I love this thing. So is you got to sell the open. I like when it comes to having a proper subject title, right? Selling the
Mhm.
open. This is a good idea to just to remember because people tend to overdo it for their titles. You got to sell
Mhm.
the open by
Mhm.
utilizing stuff like you having numbers because using numbers have shock value in a sense and also build a
Yeah,
suspense into it so that actually gets them to open up their emails. Okay, so
yeah,
this is very good. Just these three, I think, is pretty really very useful. Right, just
yeah,
very useful.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So in this case, then the other question I have, all right, I think it's one. So because since you're talking about emails as well,
Mhm.
with good emails, what we use is these are the things that are good. Some of the good email examples, email subject
Mhm.
titles. Do you have any examples of bad emails? Right, so like stuff that we really should avoid doing, like when you're writing copywriting emails or rather copywriting, like just like marketing emails, sales emails. What are the bad examples and what are stuff that we should avoid doing?
In my opinion, there are really no bad email copies.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason I say this is because you know the people you're sending it to. Okay, but where there is a problem is, are you sending it to the right people? Are you
Mm-hmm.
segmenting it and sending these emails to people who actually need it, right? That's like one thing I know. There are no bad email copies, seriously, but there are, of course, extremely good email copies, but there are really no
Mm.
bad email copies in my opinion. So then, when it comes to copy, it's not always good to just send only events emails like, hey, I'm doing this event, come over here and join me, without even communicating who you are. Some of the people I've worked with, they have never sent any introductory email about themselves. So the
Oh.
people just come into their email list and they start sending them events emails,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's important to introduce yourself in the 5 or 7 email sequence before you start offering them anything that you have to give them, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So those are some examples that we really should avoid. Is just at least let people know who you are,
Yeah.
because people forget, right? They kind of forget who is this email from, and I think I get that all the time as well. So I sign up for something afterward, I forget who this person is. I'm like, who is this person selling me stuff? Then after I do a search for this email, this from this sender, this person's
Right.
never said anything about himself. I'm like, who is this? I don't even remember. Then afterwards, oh, oh, okay, I remember because I don't know who this person is. I really do. So I think it does happen. Even as someone has been in this space for a while, it happens to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mary,
Right.
when it
Yeah.
comes to writing emails, okay,
Mm-hmm.
some people, I think even for a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, they will think it's just an email.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an email, right? Like like it's an event. Let's send an email. That's about it. It's just an email. But using copywriting is really, really important in crafting good emails, right? So, is there any email marketing copywriting tips that you can share with us?
Okay. Email copywriting tips.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
the number one rule of very good email marketing, right? Copywriting is do the research. Okay. I mean, it's super easy to just write something and say, I'm done. Here you go. But you have to do the research. You have to write in the language. In fact, let me just tell you what I do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I interview my clients after we start working together. When it's time to work together, I interview them, okay, and get deeper understanding of who their clients are, and understand the problems they have. And like sometimes these clients, they have a what do you call it, a sales copy, but the sales copy is not doesn't go as deep as email copies. That's just the truth, you know. So, and in the case that I want to write their introductory sequence, 5 to 7 email introductory sequence, I most of it, in fact, all of the time, I never find anything that will be good. So I ask them to record a voice on Zoom or somewhere for me, so that they can tell me something. I always like give them a topic to talk about, and many a times in these recordings, they are crying
Mm.
because this is like you become human. You're gonna be sending emails to a human being, right? So
Right.
they go deep. They go down the memory lane to remember stuff that they had even forgotten. So I ask them about these things, and then they talk about the narratives, and then I use it to write their emails to their audience.
Mm.
That's how I do this. So the research is
Mm.
important, getting the information, even the things that they don't know about. You have to be able, in fact, you have to know them better than they know themselves for you to write a good email copy. Yeah.
Mm. That's very
Mhm.
powerful. So I think what you said earlier was very accurate. It's like 80%. It's very
Research.
much about the research, and then you're just going in. So that helps you to draw out all the real things and very emotional things. And as a copywriter, you capture those in text, so you can
Mhm.
send it out. I think that's very amazing. And Yongin over here is saying, I have a comment on numbers shock and suspense will make people open their email. It's true. When I see numbers, especially offers, I will open it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Yongin. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So okay, so this is when you're okay. So it's not just an email, because an email is a very good way to communicate on scale. It's an asset, and it's also it's a very powerful tip. I think just understanding, doing a whole bunch of research will help people to write better.
Mhm.
And okay, so that'll be so when it comes to creating copy for writing copy, right? If let's say this, I don't think I prepped you for it, but this is like I'm gonna test you for your knowledge, for yourself, right? How, if let's say someone who is new, who doesn't have this habit of writing emails, okay, and has only in a sense been receiving all this copyright, all this marketing emails, how can someone write something then? How can someone write a series of emails or something for them by themselves? Is it possible?
Yes, definitely. A lot of people do it for themselves. You know.
Hmm?
So for you, if you want to write emails for yourself, you just tell your story for a
Hmm.
start. Some people are good storytellers. You tell your story, and then you keep, put the suspense at the end of the first series. You ask them to wait for the next day, and then you tell the second story. Okay, let's say for example, you lost somebody, right? You can tell that in your email. Or let's say, you had a tragedy to, yourself. You experienced something. You can tell that in the email, right? And then you talk about how you triumphed, right? You talk about your pains and your happiness and your joy, and if you have a dog, you introduce your dog. I mean, I get those things, right?
Hmm.
Or if you have pets, you can put a picture of your pet. If you have a daughter, child, son, whoever, mom, dad, put a picture of them. So you're telling them about yourself, right? In
Hmm.
a sequential way that will be able to actually, the main purpose of this is to tell a story that, hey, I've gone through what you're going through, and I conquered, I overcame, therefore I can help you. That's just the bottom line, right? So
Hmm.
that's what somebody should bear in mind when they want to write the email by themselves. Okay, I've been through this and I'm here now, therefore I can do it for you. If you don't have, sad story to tell, because I believe in telling a sad story. Everybody has a sad story to tell. If you don't have a sad story to tell, you can talk about somebody close to you that it happened to. Then you
Hmm.
talk about the happy ending. It's a movie, right? Talk about the happy ending. Then that's how you actually connect, because people connect with pain faster than not pain. Yeah.
Ah. Okay,
Yes.
so thanks for sharing. That's very powerful. So Susie is jogging. Susie is one of the my friends as well who's actually tunes in, and she's usually jogging. So she's amazing. So thanks for Susie for listening in while you're jogging. All right. I like what you said earlier is that you know when you're writing emails, it's actually creating stories. You know, using stories is not just whole bunches of emails that's marketing and selling kind of stuff, but you use stories. And what you said earlier was very interesting and very powerful is that you know you use sad stories, right, to engage people. And I think that's a powerful tip when you're writing emails for yourself, and not just for yourself. Let's say if you have hired someone like for example to hire you to work together, it's you can actually as a copywriter you draw out those information. And for people, it's sometimes it's the stuff that we've gone through. We don't tell these stories. You know, it's hard for us to tell our own stories, right? That's why we work together with someone like you to be able to pull those stories out, to be able to put it into text form. Because there are some people who are, it's just hard for them to write their stories in a
Mhm.
way that is concise, that is keeps the essence, keeps the important points without getting into too much detail, right? So would that be a point of too much detail though, Mary? I'm just wondering. Would there be a point where there's too much detail?
I would only be concerned about irrelevant detail.
Hmm.
Irrelevant detail is what we avoid. Yes.
Ah, good
There's
point. Straight answer. I love it. Don't take out the irrelevant. Keep details, but leave out the irrelevant stuff. Straight to the point. That's why you see. I think Mary, you're just living your words as well, right? Anything irrelevant, just cut it out. Cut it. No need to add more stuff. Just cut the stuff out and just get going straight. Fantastic, fantastic. And I think that requires definitely a lot more practice and skill. It's just to know what not to say and what to trim, and to be able to catch people's attention.
Mhm.
Awesome. I love all this. I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm learning a lot in terms of writing all the different kinds of emails. So,
Mhm.
okay, so we are coming. This is, I think, one of the, this is a very value packed uh, session or value packed interview that I had. So, I learned quite a lot of information. Like, I really love about what you said about the sell the open. Selling the open was so great. I love the concept. So simple, but it's so good selling the open, right? And then
Yeah.
also you got to talk about shock, suspense, and numbers. Then you also talk a
Mhm.
little bit about when you're creating emails, you want to make sure that you're telling a story from that. Also, you also talking about doing a lot of research. So I've learned a ton from you. Thank you so much for inspiring me, Mary.
Pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then I have a few more questions before we come to a close. All right. So it's
Okay.
time pass by very quickly, right? Having food, we're having fun. I am. So if let's say we are talking about to somebody who is like new to the whole idea of writing copy, right? What would you say to a new aspiring copywriter who could possibly start impacting 1 million people? Now, to give a bit of context to people, this idea of reaching 1 million people is because over the course of our lifetime, we could reach 1,000 people. That's not hard to imagine. And then likewise, they in turn can also reach another 1,000 people. So you're really just like two branches away from reaching 1 million people. 1,000 times 1,000, it's 1 million people. So when it comes to email marketing, it's much more likely to impact a whole lot more people, because you're reaching out on scale on email. And the thing is, those emails stay in the inboxes, especially now these days. The inbox space, there's a lot. People don't delete stuff; they just leave it there, right? So, what would you say to an aspiring email copywriter who could very possibly start impacting 1 million people?
A new email copywriter, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if you are brand new in email copywriting, the best thing to do is create a new, like, one email address. Then this email address, you go ahead and subscribe to all the gurus, all the pros in the market in that niche, and then you start receiving their emails. So when you keep receiving all these emails, you begin to understand it. You begin to understand how they write and why they write and what it is they're writing about. Okay, like I mean, there are so many people you can opt into their email list, but the best ones usually are not free to actually opt in. So, like, sometimes they sell you $97 something. They don't give you anything free, right? So
Mm.
you have to actually buy that $97 something. Then you start receiving their emails. And some of them, they sell you a book, right? and then you're able to join their email list, and you start getting like really nice email series from them, because they usually have the next offer and the next offer and the next offer. So that's what I would advise somebody who is starting and you want to impact 1 million people to actually, that's where you start the email thing, right? And then moving forward, I don't ever suggest people to write for free, because it happened to me. I one time I accepted to write for free, and when I sat down to write, I couldn't write anything. So
Mm.
because I believe in exchange of energy. So if somebody wants to see how I write those days, I'll be like, okay, just give me a few $100, and then I give you this email, then you see how it is. Because each time I tried to write for free, it wasn't flowing. So I learned
Mm.
that I cannot do that. It's just like I have too much juice. Let me brag a little bit. Too much juice flowing. So I mean, if I'm not getting exchange of that energy, it wouldn't flow. So that's what I did. So don't write for free. Try to charge something. When you charge something, you will actually be encouraged to do the research that involves what you're going to
Mm.
write. I mean, I keep saying research, because that's what most people don't want to do. Most people don't want to think about research, but that's where the entire work is, right? Once I do the research, get all my research reading down or listen to it and put it down in writing, then to write the email is just like, wow, I'm done. Wow, really? It's over? So
Mm.
that's how it works. Do the research, and then you can impact 1 million people. Do the research, and your work will speak for you, and the people
Mm.
you write for will be very happy. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great point. So do the research and learn from the other gurus, the other masters, observe how they do it, and then keep writing and don't do it for free.
Yes.
Very, very important. Yeah. So we have a question from Jack over here. So his question was, how about the email rule on spam? What do you think about this, Mary?
Email rule on spam. I don't usually. Well, in fact, once I get into somebody's dashboard, I have to look at a few things to make sure the email never, ever, ever goes to spam. You know, because once your email starts going to spam, it starts causing a lot of problems for you. I mean, nobody's seeing it, and you might be penalized by your autoresponder. So the
Hmm.
spam thing happens too. It happens to even the super professional, the multimillionaires. I see their emails in my spam. And when I look at it, I'm like, okay, I don't know why this went to spam. Maybe they need to check how people come in, or maybe they need to tweak something. And the reason why emails go into spam is because of the content. Let's say, oh, you want to send somebody email about motivation, and then you tell them what you're selling, and then you start putting all these banners inside your email. It's going to go to spam, right? And you put so many of all these logos and posters. I mean, the carrier, Yahoo, Gmail, they're gonna just spam it, and because they feel like, because for them email is about receiving a letter from a friend. So once you once you receiving something, a letter from a friend, it's not supposed to be filled up with banners. You can put one picture. That's, I believe in that. You put one picture, maybe a bottle of water picture, or a picture of a mannequin, or just to make a point, or a picture of whatever it is you want to put there to make your point, but not actually going so crazy about the logos, the coloring. I mean, I know there are so many companies who design email templates, that's for sure, but those email templates might be hurting your deliverability.
Hmm. Okay, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that, Mary. So, with regards to email spam, I could add a little bit as well. I can share a little bit on idea on this as well, Mary, just to add on to what you've been saying. One of the best examples that I can't remember who told me this, or rather where I came across this idea, but it's very accurate. Is that when it's sending out emails and spam, right? There's some email people who send out emails and afterwards they have some words like for example, forex, crypto, these kind of money words. free this, free that. Those get flagged out. After you put a lot of pictures, those get flagged out. But the other thing is that there are some people who can send one email and then it can have all those words, it can have all the cuss words, everything, and that gets received because that the person who sent the email is your spouse, for example. So the email responders, okay, it's very interesting because they actually can. I really don't know how, but I think based on the bit of my own experience is that if you have built up the relationship in with somebody and they actively open up your emails and they are used to seeing your emails and they are looking forward to emails and they will respond to those emails, the service providers somehow pick up on that as well. And because it's a relation of that, it actually bypasses those filters because
Exactly.
it's kind of, yeah, exactly. So it bypasses because it is there's trust there. It's in a sense whitelisted. It's something that are happy to receive. So spam actually kicks in is because a lot of people tend to do a lot of selling. They assume a lot of putting a lot of stuff that doesn't give value to the person receiving it. So the person is getting it and it's like, this is not what I want to do. So they either they don't even delete. They either leave it or they hit the report spam button, which sends your email to the spam filters. And that kinds of like messes the whole thing up because what you thought was useful, they didn't like it. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about what I said?
Exactly what you said is exactly is on point. I have a list of words that I'm careful about using inside the emails, but I haven't actually worried about that list for now because everything I'm writing is just more like personal emails, like talking to people on a personal level. So I actually don't write salesy emails. So
Mm,
yeah, so salesy emails, like you said, end up in the spam, and because of
mm,
lack of communication, lack of interaction from the receiver.
mm.
Yes.
And that's why you have like a 52 kind of week kind of thing. So you're consistently keeping up to date, that you're giving value, you're letting them know your stories and getting them to relate and understand who you are. So that actually builds that relationship and they'll be happy to receive your emails rather than just constantly selling, 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 selling. You can, it's just, it doesn't encourage people to open up your emails, right?
True. True. True.
Yeah.
True.
So one more question, Mary. I think this one I like to just, I just, since you're here, I want to dig into your brains a little bit. Okay. Is that when it comes to email, you mentioned a little bit earlier, because these days when it comes to autoresponders, there are people who create a lot of, they use the inbuilt newsletter designer, right? There's like newsletter template design. So they say, oh, this looks nice. Let me use that. Versus my way of the way I do it is in the old school way. We send no pictures. It's just text, all text. So is it still relevant today to use only text, or should we be using stuff like this, those stuff very nicely designed kind of templates? What do you think?
The old way is the best way, and
Hmm.
nothing beats the old way. Seriously, nothing. Honestly, whenever I see those designs, like if I go into somebody's dashboard, I see all these templates. I pick one, the most plain one, but I still have to delete all those designs and keep it white. Because that's the best way. You're talking to a friend. You're not selling them. You're talking to them and seeing how you can help them. So that's the best way. Plain old emails. Yes.
Mm, I agree 100% because I like what you just said. It's like sending an email to a friend.
Yeah.
When you send an email to a friend, it's not all flowery and stuff like that. It's unless
No.
they're getting married. There's those married. Then you have it's all properly designed. But typically, if you're sending a reply email to somebody, it's just hit reply. It's all white. It's just blank. It's just normal text. It's just typing and send across. So yeah,
Exactly.
I when I learned that principle, the idea is like, okay, this much makes more sense. Okay, then I would do that as well. Okay, so another question I have, I know I'm just digging your ideas, all right? Just
Go
getting
ahead.
across ideas, Mary. For me, when I write my emails, is I like to keep my emails visually short, very small chunks, very small chunks. Do you do that as well?
Can you explain further what you mean?
Yeah. So that means instead, like, some people when they write, they have like very long drawn sentences. It's a very long sentence, very long sentence. What I do is that I actually chunk down my words into like the whole sentence itself. I write a few words, like for example, maybe I just use this. Okay, this example over here, right? This question I had over here. I would say, what would you say to, and then I press enter and it goes to a new line, a new aspiring email copywriter, and I press enter who could possibly, so instead of one
Okay.
long line like this, I chop into lines by lines by lines. Have you heard of something like that?
Yes, I see that. I see that. It's another way of writing, and it's very very good. It's super easy to read because human eyes is not designed to read like this, right? We read like this, so that's what I try to do. In fact, that's what I do after the introduction because introductory emails are long. So when I start writing the nurture sequence emails, I do that very often. Make short sentences. If it's gonna be like long to the end, I cut it and then it goes to the second sentence. That's just the best practice. Short sentences are the best practice. Yes.
Mm. Okay. Fantastic. Good to know that what I've been doing so far isn't wrong. So from the email marketing expert like yourself, someone's been writing for a living, and the way I think about it, right, is that my idea is I'm always remember that the one receiving an email is lazy. So what I mean by lazy is I'm getting to the point when they see the email, their eyeballs don't even need to move. The eyeballs is just taking one
Yeah.
thing because the eyes can roughly scan, so it doesn't even need to move like one across like you're
Yeah.
saying like that. It just need to like zig like that, very a little amount of space, and then use the mouse or whatever to scroll. So I'm even thinking for people who are very lazy that way, just like very tiny little sentences. This is what I've learned, and I think it's been pretty good effect, I would say, in terms of getting people to read the whole way through. And it's a little trick I've learned that I've been using through the years for writing my own email as well. So okay, Mary. So thank you for sharing that. By the way, guys, if you are still watching together with us, I now have a beautiful guest over here, Mary, who's here to share with us about how to write good email copywriting. So we are coming close to the end to the show. If you still have any questions, now is the time to ask because I'm asking the questions that I want to know. If you have questions, feel free to ask them right now because we are live. Leave a comment. Feel free to share this show right now before we end so that we can actually get any of your questions if you have them answered. Otherwise, I'm just going to take all the questions for myself and learn it for myself. That's the purpose when I start this show as well, is so that I can learn and anybody who's watching together will learn along together with me. All right, so with that said itself, Mary, okay, so for your business, okay, can you just tell us a little bit more about your business and how can people actually reach you?
Yeah, right now I'm doing everything organically. People have approached me, hey, let me help you get like 25 clients a day. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want people who need me the most to work with. I want to work with people who need me the most. So to reach me, you can actually send me a message on Facebook at Ngozi Mary. My Facebook is there, Ngozi Mary. I think I'm the only person with that name on Facebook. I'm not sure, but yeah, Ngozi Mary. And you can send me an email to at support at ngozimary.com. That's my email address that you can send me messages to. But if you want to book a call, it's also good to book a call with Calendly. But also, if you want to speak to me before booking a call, I think that would be the best thing, right? So, yes, that's how you can reach me for now. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mary. So if anyone who's watching you right now, who's watching this show, please head over to Ngozi Mary. You can see over here, she's the only person. I think you're probably the only person with this name. Just like my name is Asher, I was like the only person in the whole planet. When I search online, there's only one. So Mary, you happen to be the other person with the only it's a unique name. It's very easy to find you. And if if you want to know how you can actually hire Mary to be on your team to be able to help you to actually write a copy for you, to extract your knowledge, to extract your experiences, and then craft them into words that can actually capture people's attention, that to be able to help sell the knowledge, to sell your courses, sell your products, sell your services, whatever you have. You do want to have someone like Mary on your team because she's someone who understands copywriting, someone who understands the necessities of email, the rules to follow to avoid spam problems. You do want to hit her up, so make sure you send an email over to support@ngozimary.com or just search for her here on Facebook and then just have a chat with her, and then afterwards we will find out whether just have a chat with her on chat to find out whether she can actually be the right person on your team to help you out, to solve you, because you also mentioned earlier that your main people that you're helping us mostly in the consultants, the coaches, and ad agencies. And of course, but if you don't fall to any of those, still feel free to give her a call, feel free to message her to have a chat, because you never know, with her experiences that she has, and she being an actress, she has the ability to, one cool, powerful thing, research. So she goes deep into what you do to do the research so that she can craft out all that information over there. Am I right so far, Mary?
Yeah, perfectly right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Yongin over here is saying thank you, Asha and Mary, for sharing on email marketing. Learned a couple of new things from this session. Thank you so much, Yongin, for actually tuning in from the start until now. Really appreciate you for coming all the way through. Okay, so Mary, before we end, we are coming to the hour. Any parting words before we end?
Yeah, okay. I actually remembered the fourth strategy that I use to sell the open, which is a result, right?
Mm,
You can there in your subject line, you can talk about the results they're gonna get when they join you, when they get into your program. Okay, so you can talk about results they're gonna get or the results the people already got. So it's all pretty much like the same thing as the shop, the numbers, and all of that. So I'm just like mentioning them just in case if anybody's confused or don't know, so they can just pick up one of these strategies, which is most they overlap. So yeah, the results and email marketing. Writing email marketing is what I love. Writing is what I love to do a lot. Okay, because even when I'm not, let's say I'm less busy, I write and I write and I write. So that's how. I mean, the first time I made money indirectly writing was I think I was 18, 19. I was trying to get into college on scholarship because I mean I wanted to go to a very good school, but I couldn't afford it. So what I did, I applied for a scholarship, and then I wrote word. I wrote to the university. I wrote like 500 words to them, convincing them that they have to, accept me. Not only accept me, they have to pay my school fees. Not only pay my school fees, they have to pay me living expenses. So so the university read that, and after 1 week, they called me and said, "Yeah, we can give you all of that." So that was when I
mm,
knew that actually writing the right way is powerful. Writing the right way it's very useful for life, forever and ever. Yes. So,
mm.
mm,
Awesome. So, guys, this is you are hearing the words from Mary. Just by the power of email, the way you write, okay, she can get scholarships, and not to get just scholarship, right? She gets paid on a living. So, if you want to know how this skill, she actually applied it for her own life, and then she's now using that the same skill that she can use to apply for your business. So, if your business needs to survive. You definitely want to have Mary on your team to help you to craft those, and not only that, to help you to go onto higher levels than you've had that you have never had before. You definitely want to have someone who's you want to have Mary on your team to be able to help you to craft those stories, write those emails. 52 for a whole year, so you don't have to consider what kind of emails to write anymore. Just have her on your team, help you to craft those stuff. All right. Okay, Mary, thank you so much for your time. We hit just nice the amount of time we have over here.
thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed your interview. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Mary. So you just say bye bye and then we'll see you next time. Yeah?
All right. Bye.
Okay,
See
take
you
care.
next
Bye.
time.
See you. Okay, guys, thank you so much once again. Again, I had a very good, I had the privilege of learning from Mary, and I really hope that you, when you're watching this, you also learned along together with me on the show, on the Starting a Million show. Now, if you haven't done so yet, please do me a favor and follow me at It's Asher Ao on Facebook and YouTube, because I'm still building this channel. I'm building the show, so I would love to have you. If you can help me out, I'm starting out, guys. Something over here, help me out over here, right? So, other than that, if you want to be a guest as well to come over to the show, just hit on this or just let me leave a comment below. Here, leave a hashtag guest, all right, and then just give me a message. Let me know if you want to come onto the show. Something I like to do, and just like when you come onto the show, we're gonna make it fun. Okay, that's one of the cool things to make it fun. And of course, lastly, there's like the last thing over here. If you have an offer, if you want to sell something, if you want to bring an offer and start to sell over to different people to reach new audiences, okay, hit me up as well, because I'm able to teach how to present, connect, and sell while on live like a pro. Leave a comment on hashtag live pro and I'll reach out to you. And I'm still preparing some new additional free resources that I'm very, very happy to give out to you. Only if you leave a comment, only for those who join up. Okay. So with that said, so Jack, oh, you guys asked a few questions. Yeah. So can you share your experience on MAS, okay, and the big news on the industry. Okay, bro, I'm not too sure about this, but if let's say we are able to have a chat about this, okay, if Mary is still looking at the comments, I think Mary could actually respond to that. So I'm not too sure. I haven't actually heard about this, the MAS thing, because I'm not in that industry, the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So I'm not too sure on this and the big news because this is your industry. So with that said, bro, I'm not too sure why. I'm not too sure about how to address this. But if there is, I think if you have the opportunity to have a chat with Mary, please feel free to ask her and to chat about this. Okay, bro. Thank you so much for watching, guys. With that said, appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.